Good afternoon and welcome. Welcome indeed to another edition of the Panthers Report right here on the Mark Mosey Show as we talk all things Florida Tech athletics. Right now, we are here with one of the legends. She is one of the, how can I say this, the OGs. Yeah, she's been there 17 seasons there on the campus of Florida Tech. She is the head softball coach, Val Silvestrini. Coach, how you doing today?
I'm doing well. Thank you for having me. And I cannot believe it's been 17 years. It seems that I started yesterday. I was the only female coach in the athletic department, and I was one of the youngest. And now I'm one of the oldest. So,
All right. When you got the job 17 seasons ago, did you
yeah.
ever think you'd last this long coaching at one program when you started?
No, but I knew this was a good place because when I interviewed for the job, there were coaches here that had been here for 20 or 30 years. So I immediately knew that this was a good place to be at.
What do you love about coaching there at Florida Tech then?
Well, I love this school, and plus, the location doesn't hurt. We're 5 miles from the beach.
Mm.
But I love everything about Florida Tech, our academic programs, our athletic programs. We have a chance to compete at the highest level, and that's a really great opportunity for me and for our athletes.
Let's look at last season before we look ahead because I know your new one's going to start coming up in January. You guys were
Yes.
about 6 games above 500, about what, 500 in conference play. What did you
Mhm.
take out of last season?
I thought it was a positive season. We had 13 freshmen that they're all back as sophomores now. So I thought that we were very competitive and we won very important games. So I thought the result was positive. It was a big turnover from the year before, and the newcomers showed up and were impact players right away.
What do you guys do now then as we're here into November? Holidays are going to be coming up. Are you recruiting, practicing? What happens this time of year, coach?
Yeah, this time of the year is actually really busy. We're doing it all. We are in our non-championship segment, which means that's team practices, scrimmages. We're doing camps, and we're also recruiting. So for our coaching staff, this is a really busy time of the year.
All right, you talk recruiting. What type of player do you try to recruit to play for you for the Panthers?
Well, as you know, Florida Tech is a highly academic institution. So the thing that we look at first is their academics and make sure that they're a good fit for our academic programs. But after that, we're looking for kids that love softball. And I tell our recruits, I can tell you everything about our program, but after you go through our program for a year, you're truly gonna know what is it about to be a scholar athlete at Florida Tech and at one of the best conference in the nation. We're looking for kids that are great teammates. We tell our athletes it's not about you being the best athlete you can be, it's also about you making everyone around you better. We like kids that love to compete, and we want them to be the best they can be on the field, in the classroom, and in life. And we look for kids that are coachable and that love to win. We want to get better every day, and at the end of the day, we want to win.
Do you have players where they show up and go, well, I know everything. I competed at a high level in high school. Is that where the coaching comes in? Yeah, that's great, but we got to get you that next level there.
We are fortunate to have kids that do want to get better. I've not have many players that think they know it all. They know that this is the highest level they're gonna play at, and they want to be the best that they can be and compete. We are fortunate to have kids that work hard. They show up at practice and they want to get better, and they're always competing to get a position and also to make our team better.
All right, coach, I went to college. I can't believe I'm going to say this over 20 years ago. It's been a minute, as the kids would say. I didn't have a cell phone in college. I might be
Right.
one of those last
Me
generation.
neither.
Yeah. So you talk about a 17-year career at Florida Tech. How has the student athlete changed with technology where now they're all on their phones every 3 seconds?
Yeah, well, I think it's actually a good change. We just added cameras to our field. And I think it's a great tool for them to see themselves at practice and scrimmages, and see how they can be better. And I think they like it. They're in the phone so much that they're watching themselves perform, and the things that they did well and the things that they can improve on. So I think that that's been a good change for
No,
them.
if I'm playing for you, coach, delete all the bad plays. I don't want to see them. I don't.
Well, there's some videos that sometimes we need to delete, but it's okay. It's still experience, I say, and sometimes we have expensive experience where we have to pay for, and sometimes it's unexpensive experience. And I think at practice is mostly unexpensive experience, so it's things that were gonna help us.
Do you have players that you need them to be versatile from the standpoint of, I need you to play third, but can you also play right field? How does that work from your standpoint?
Yeah, we love those kind of players, and we have some. We have our pitchers. They some of them also hit or play other positions. So it makes it a lot easier and harder on us. Easier because they can be on the lineup more. Harder is because we have to make more decisions. Who's gonna be on that starting lineup.
Okay. Like you said, it's a very busy time for you. What are your expectations then going to the new season for this team?
Yeah, well, I expect us to be better than last year. We have a lot of players returning. We have new players as well. So our expectation is to be better. Finish get a better finish in the conference, and get a postseason bid. So that's our goal.
Well, I know you've won a conference championship. You've
Hmm.
gone deep in the playoffs when you look at Florida Tech softball. Does that give you that benchmark? Okay, here's what we need to do. I've tasted it. Let's go get back there.
Yeah, that's always in the back of my mind. I tend to compare our teams to the 2019 team, because not for a bad reason. I just want us to be better than that. So and that's what I continues to do. To recruit players, to train them to be better than what we were in 2019.
What made that team special then in your eyes?
Well, that team really struggled in the fall of 2018, and but I think we sat together at the end of the fall, and we had a really good conversation with our leaders and then with the team, and we say, hey, we have what it takes. Now we need to put it together, and these are the things that we need to do in the winter in order to come back and have a great season. And we have like 10 challenges that we listed, and one of them was a conditioning challenge, and they all came on the first day and passed it. And then there was another drill that we used to do, and we still do with this team, is 21 outs, and that team really struggled with getting 21 outs straight. And we work on it every day until the weekend before the season started, and that day we got the drill done, and that team celebrated like they had won a national championship. And right then we knew it was going to be special. But we also had a great run in April. I think that we pretty much went undefeated in April. Nobody was expecting it. We won the conference by one game. So there was almost a three-way tie. We went into hosting regionals and winning regionals, and we were one win away from making it to a national championship tournament. So that was very special. They worked together. I wouldn't say that they was the best team chemistry wise, but they challenged each other. They knew that they had the same goal in mind, and they worked very, very well together.
That's a great team there at Florida Tech. But what about your first team at Florida Tech 17 years ago? Do you hold that team? Like, did you cherish that first experience for you as the head coach of the Panthers?
That was a great experience. I love those kids. I stay in touch with a lot of them. It was a challenging season, but I was really tough on them, and I think as the years went by, I got smarter, and now like you say, kids have changed too. So I
Yeah.
I feel like we have different relationships with them. But we started really tough. They worked super hard. They had to run a mile at that time. We don't do that anymore.
What?
Um, yes, can you believe
No,
it?
we don't do that anymore.
Yeah, but those kids worked really really hard, and it was really fun. I only had 12 players at the time because two were hurt during the season, but we competed really well, and we have grown since then. But they laid the foundation for this program, so they have a very special um, room in my heart for them because they really accepted me, and they work hard for this program, so it was fun.
I know it must have been hard at first, where you show up, you're the new coach. And look, I know some of your colleagues with the different sports, hey, in the last couple of years, it's their first year as a head
Yeah.
coach. Isn't there that feeling of, all right, I need to prove this to my players and the other
Mhm.
teams in the conference? Hey, I am the coach here, and we are going to compete at a high level.
Yeah, yeah. Well, for me, it's not so much to prove. It's a competition with myself. It's being better than I was. I think I'm a better coach now than I was 17 years ago. But that's because I've been doing this for a long time and learning, and I'm always looking for better ways to do things. So that's how we've gone about it.
Okay, for our Panther fans, let's learn about Coach here for a minute. I don't know if she wants to do this, but I'm going to give her the hard one. Okay, so Coach Val, where
Yes,
are you from originally?
I'm originally from Argentina.
Argentina. Did you
Yes.
ever hear of Melbourne, Florida when you were growing up?
No, no, and before I took the job here, I was in Jacksonville, Florida, and I didn't know where Melbourne was.
It's okay. So you grew up around the sport. I know
Mhm.
you love. Why do you love it as one of your favorite sports to play growing up and even for
Mhm.
today?
Yeah. Well, I actually grew up playing tennis. Tennis was my first sport. And I had a really good friend that plays softball. And my sister was going to try out for softball with some friends. And I wasn't doing anything that afternoon. So I say, okay, let's go and try it out. And I fell in love with the sport. I really like the team aspect of softball. I used to play an individual sport, and it's just yourself there and your thoughts. So it was really nice to have team members and teammates that are with you and they become your friends. And softball has given me so much. I've been able to play for the Argentinian national team and travel around the world. And most of my friends I met through softball. So I'm very grateful to the sport for that.
Okay, all right. Let's clarify this story because this sounds like it's out of a Disney movie. So, was your sister? Is this your older sister you were talking about?
No, she's a year younger.
Okay, so you guys are around the same age. Did
Yes.
you, when you tried out, did you have any idea what softball was? Could you
No,
make it?
I had an idea. I had played a little bit in school, but
Okay,
I
all
went
right.
to try out for a club. Yeah.
You make it sound like you showed up, you didn't know what a bat was, and you just started hitting. That's awesome.
Well, it was an easy transition, from tennis, using a tennis racket into a bat. I had several friends that played tennis and softball, and they're very successful hitters because they had the eye-hand coordination from tennis.
Do you still love to play tennis?
Yes, I do. I teach a tennis course here at Florida Tech.
Oh, you don't mess around. All right. So, yeah, you don't. What position did you play when you were a player?
Well, I play pretty much everywhere, but mainly shortstop, second base, and center field.
Do you miss playing from
I
time to time?
do. I do miss playing, but I wish I was younger. I could still run fast.
I think about, okay, Michael Jordan said this a couple weeks ago, and I can't get it out of my head, where he told Mike Tirico in an interview he wished there was a magic pill that he could take and make him 20 years old again so he could keep playing. So would you agree with that from time to time? You wish you could keep
Yes,
playing.
I would definitely agree.
But do you take great pride and pleasure in coaching the sport that you love so much?
Oh, I do. That's what I do. I love the sport, and I love being around scholar athletes, and help them develop into young women.
Do your players ever come after you like, "Coach, I would have beaten you.
Uh,
I would have beaten you on." Does that ever happen at practice from time
no, because they know they will lose,
to
so
time?
they don't.
Do you ever at practice pick up the bat and show them you could still swing it?
uh, no, but I do hit fungo, and I think I don't have as much power anymore. I let my assistant do that, but I still have pretty good accuracy. So
I like it. Who were your favorite players growing up that you looked up to?
softball players, it's Jessica Mendoza. She played for Stanford, and then she played for the national team. She was my idol. So
Did you ever meet her?
yes, I met her. I actually play against her too. So yes.
Did you tell her, "Oh yeah, I'm a big fan of yours," when you were competing
Oh
against her?
yes, yes.
Oh,
I
you
think she
did.
knows.
I
Yes.
interviewed her. I met her years ago when I worked in Omaha for the College World Series, and she was
Mm-hmm.
on the call for ESPN. She is awesome.
Yes.
She is.
She's amazing. Yes.
Okay, if we ask, all right, so baseball players, who are your favorite growing up that you liked?
Oh, I have to admit that I don't follow baseball that much.
Hey,
So, but I did really like Derek Jeter from the young Yankees.
captain.
He
The
was
captain.
amazing.
That's what you like. Okay.
Yes, the captain.
All right.
Yes.
So, coach, you said three positions: second
Mhm.
base, shortstop, and center field. Which one of those three did you like playing the best?
I really like second base the best. I
Why?
thought that I was really
Why
good at
second?
it.
Why
Yeah.
second base the best?
I don't know. I always felt that between first and second is it was a soccer goal, and I was gonna stop anything that came that way. So I play mostly being a goalkeeper. I wasn't gonna let anything go between those two bases.
That is awesome. I honestly I preferred center field. There's
Hmm.
not as much pressure. See ball, get ball. That's what I
Yeah.
think about. When I tried shortstop, you're like, wait a minute. There's all these other things I got to be thinking about at all times.
Yes.
The base are it was too much pressure. I said, just keep me in center field. That's what it is.
Yes.
So
I think actually second base has a little bit more responsibility than shortstop. Shortstop might get more balls hit that way, but short in second base you're also covering first for bunts and stuff. So I think there's more action at second base.
do you ever have players come to you and go, "Hey, I'd like to be more versatile. Could I try this in practice?" Like, does that happen from time to time?
Oh yes, that happens very often. Players, that want to try a different position or add to their game. So yes, we try those things.
All right, let's end with this. The hardest part is hitting the ball. So my
Yes.
question for you is, how hard and intimidating is it at your level to hit the softball when it's coming at your head like that at the plate?
I think it's really hard. You have milliseconds to make a decision and swing or not to swing.
Mm.
So it is not easy, and our athletes know it. Okay, so we work a lot on the mental game. Having our mind on the right space to perform our best, and we can be at our best and still fail. So we need to be able to bounce back and be at our best for the next opportunity.
At your level, how many pitches do a pitcher Division two Florida Tech? Is it three? Is it four? Is it five? How many different pitches does a pitcher usually at your level have?
Yeah, our pitchers throw pretty much 5 or 6 different spins. So yes, and at different heights and different speeds. So it is really tough.
Can you admit to us what pitch you had trouble with at the plate, or could you handle it all, coach? Yeah.
I think I had a hard time hitting off left-handed hitters because I was left-handed myself, and we didn't see that many left-handed pitchers. So that curveball coming from a left-handed pitcher, that was really tough for me.
Okay. She admitted it years later. Not when you played. You probably never said that ever to the media. Never,
No.
never did. All right. So before I let you go, all right, coach, I know it's like early November now. You guys are very
Mhm.
busy. When are you going to start your new season there in 2026?
We're gonna start at the end of January in Alabama. So our athletes are gonna get back to campus on January 10th, and we have about 3 weeks of practice before we get on a plane to go play a really tough tournament at Gulf Shores, Alabama.
That's going to be awesome. I like the
Yes.
buffer after the holidays. So it's not like, hey guys, we got to start January 1st. So no fun during the holidays. No, I like this with the schedule. Coach, thank
Yes.
you so much for coming on, and good luck on the 2026 campaign for softball at Florida Tech. All right.
Thank you so much.